Do you ever make something so good that it catches someone else's eye? That's what happened with my last set. This new client saw it and wanted the same look, but with 2 nightstands instead of 1. So, little backstory. My new client saw one of my previous listings, which, check out that video, it's an amazing set, turned out super great, but this new client really wanted the same look, but with 2 nightstands instead of 1. So her wish was my command, jumped on Facebook Marketplace and started hunting immediately. That week, I scored a beautiful large set and these cool matching pair of nightstands. So even though they weren't sold together as the same set, I'll be tying them together with the same refinishing style, dark green paint and rich walnut tops. Let's see if we can do it. The main star of the show is this stunning dresser. I picked it up from a family that is downsizing their suburban home and moving into retirement. Their daughter just went off to college and their chapter with it is closing. I love hearing the backstory of these pieces and knowing how well loved it was. It's a great feeling knowing that this piece will live on and have someone new be so excited to receive it. Coincidentally, when we were out picking this up, I saw someone posted these nightstands for sale in a similar area. My luck with Marketplace is to be super fast to pick up. People are usually just trying to get rid of things and clear out their space. So the faster I am willing to come pick up, usually the more cooperative the sellers tend to be. And since I was already in the area, I said I could be there in 15 minutes and they accepted. I love the size of them and I think the double drawer system will provide a lot of functional storage while also staying really sleek and modern. With a few changes, of course. Filling in these floral designs is the first big update, but then I'll use my jigsaw to trim off the extra waves on the bottom skirt. When they have these waves in them, I like to call them the fangs, and for whatever reason, almost all the pieces I buy tend to have them. Some people cut them into boxy square legs, but I prefer to keep the outer curves and just cut off the fangs in the middle. Especially when I'm trying to match different pieces together, cutting the skirts to similar styles really helps pull them together to look like one uniform set. So now our nightstands are matching the big dresser. While I was cutting, I noticed there were plastic runners on the bottom of the nightstands. They would be getting in the way of painting, so I decided to remove them. The dresser also has this floral trim on it that we're going to be filling in. Once it's all dry, I sand it back. Filling in these large floral designs on a flat surface like a drawer front can be tricky. So here I go in with a second coat just to fill any of the spots that I initially missed. Usually it takes a few iterations of filling, sanding, and priming to get a smooth surface. Now that our cosmetic corrections have been made, it's time to strip down the top of the dresser to raw wood. Sometimes I sand, sometimes I use acetone, it really just depends. I don't know if I'd say one is significantly faster than the other, but it is satisfying to see the finish just melt away so quickly when using acetone. 2 passes with acetone is usually enough to remove most of the thick finish. Then when I go in with my sander, it is mostly just removing the remaining color out of the wood. Also, as a public service announcement, I see so many of y'all working with acetone and other strippers without wearing your proper PPE. You need gloves, you need eye protection, and you need a mask. This is not something that you should be using without protective gear. I like to get the acetone part out of the way before I paint. It prevents any mishaps from happening to my new smooth paint. So for prep paint, I like to clean and then scuff sand. I do that on the large dresser here and then all over on the two smaller nightstands. Oh, and one of the plastic bumpers evaded me earlier and definitely needs removed. Although I haven't sanded the top all the way down to pristine raw wood, I still like to cover the top to prevent overspray from building up on it. Especially on the edges, it will get heavily coated with paint when I use my sprayers, so this will save me so much time later. Another part that I like to tape are the drawer slides to keep them working flawlessly. I only do this though when I need to spray with the drawers out, and I get these questions on every flip. Do you spray with the drawers in or out? And honestly, it depends. The nightstands will get sprayed with the drawers out at first, and this is because the drawers cover part of the frame when they're closed. So in these situations, I do a coat with the drawers out and then a coat with the drawers in. However, the dressers, since it has inset drawers, I will spray with them closed. But in reality though, they'll have them slightly open so the edges can also get covered by the sprayer. This will save me a lot of time later with touch-ups, but in order to do that successfully, I need to add tape to the inside of the drawers just to keep them clean. So here you can see the drawers are slightly pulled out, just enough so they get covered by my sprayer. Now that the nightstand base coat is dry, I'll put the drawers in and just spray the drawers. After I spray, I pop the drawers out just slightly so they don't end up drying and sticking to the base frame and causing problems for me later. Ladies, gentlemen, and future fans, let me introduce to you Rosemary Green. She's on repeat, she's iconic, and she's not letting go of that aux cord anytime soon. Green has been the color of the season, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. Every time I think I'm done, another custom order for this exact shade slides into my DMs. She's booked and busy, and apparently so am I. My secret sauce is this Graco True Coat sprayer. I've used all different kinds of sprayers and none compared to this one. It gives a velvety smooth finish every single time. When I use other sprayers on my final coat of paint, I worry about how the sheen will look, and I often get tiger stripes. But with the Graco, I literally never worry. It comes out flawless every single time. Although most of the drawer edges got covered with my sprayers, you still need to go back in and touch up with a small brush. No one wants unfinished looking drawers, so do not skip this. Next up, let's tackle the tops of these dresser and nightstands. As a reminder, she wants a dark walnut finish. Fortunately for me, the dresser top is wood and can be easily stained. The nightstands, though, are not so lucky, and we'll have to do some movie magic to get the same look. Since we already stripped the heavy finish off the dresser, it is rather quick to sand it back to raw wood. It's crucial that there's no swirl marks left at the end. Always spray down with water to double check your work, and go over it with higher grit sandpaper if needed to remove swirl marks. My go-to stain right now is the Behr water-based dark walnut stain. The girlies can't get enough of it lately, and neither can I. Since it's water-based, I use a damp sponge to apply it. No one likes using a dry beauty blender to apply makeup, and wood is no different. But good makeup isn't worth anything without some moisturizer, so make sure to lightly mist the wood with water before applying. It'll help spread the stain evenly. This dresser top is unique because the outer trim pieces have the wood grain running in different directions. At the end, make sure to wipe the sponge in the different directions of the grain for each section. The first coat was not dark enough, so I usually do 2 coats with this stain to get the dark walnut look. Boop, 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 boop. No outfit is complete without some jewelry. Brass knobs have a grip on the industry right now. Almost every piece I refinish, people are requesting these exact knobs. If you want stuff to sell fast, use these. When you want walnut but only have particle board, it's time to get creative. I splurged and bought the Topcoat liquid wood. It supposedly has wood fibers in it that can be stained. I normally just use matte tan paint in this situation, but I was in the mood to try something new. The instructions say to use 2 to 3 coats, so that's what we're gonna do. To make this look good, I rocked a wood graining tool across the top to create some texture and depth. Then it was time for the big moment of truth, applying the stain. To be honest, this product did not perform any better than my cheap paint. It did not absorb the stain, rather the stain sat on top of it. I could easily wipe it off even hours after it dried. And I'm pretty disappointed. The Topcoat product cost 3 times as much as my usual tan paint base, and the results were the exact same. But good thing we don't stop when we run into roadblocks and disappointments, because the final result was still stunning. I've seen enough to be able to correct any whoopsie. We're in the home stretch and I have one last repair to make. The bottom drawers on the dresser fall out when I pull them forward, so the easiest solution in this case was to install new drawer slides. It was a bit tricky to get the height right since these are inset drawers. And guys, be smarter than me. Cut your drawer tracks before gluing them on the drawers. In hindsight, this repair should have been done at the beginning along with the other prep work, but in my mind, leaving it for future Julia to deal with was a much better option. So here we are, the night before scheduled pickup, making these corrections. So let's just take a second and appreciate this transformation. We started with a random outdated set that looked like it had never even met before. Like 2 coworkers who only say hi in the break room. And now, Boom! A full-on matching family in rosemary green with those rich walnut tops. From awkward strangers to coordinated main characters. I don't know about you, but I'd call that a serious glow up. Thanks for hanging out with me on this flip. I can't wait to show you the next one.